probably my favorite moment, hands down, in the movie is when this woman shows up at his apartment and she
the
wants
wife of the
the previous owner.
Oh yeah.
And she wants the book, and she's like, if you I'll buy that book off you and I'll give you a bonus kind of thing, and like this wink wink nudge nudge, I'm gonna fuck you thing. And Johnny's like, well, let me grab some drinks, and he walks up, he gets 2 scotches, and she's sitting on the couch, and he kind of walks up to her, and it shows a shot where it's her head, and he's like walking up to her, his crotch is like head level, and instead of like grabbing the drink, she just like palms his dick, like she just like open hand palms his dick and like looks up at him, and then and Johnny Depp plays such a snide, quippy piece of shit in this movie. Like he's such a like you just want to punch him
for everything you say.
He's like, and so okay, they have sex. The camera pans out, and they're like, oh wait, before they're making out, and Johnny Depp lifts her skirt up a little bit, and it closes up on this tattoo of a snake on her ass.
Really small, weird.
Small snake tattoo on her ass cheek. Almost like, watch out, Depp, she's bad. Like there's a snake tattoo on her butt, and then so they fuck. And
they also have the weirdest kissing scene too.
Right? It was like a closed mouth.
It was like an open mouth, but they weren't doing it. Like they opened both their mouths, smashed them together, and then just kind of rotated their faces.
Yeah, it was a.
I remember Loren was super wet during that kissing scene. She was saying so. She's like, "Nice, I'm so wet." Anyways, I thought that would go somewhere. It didn't.
Loren has to react.
True.
Loren just looked horrified at me. Like, oh, that didn't happen. Anyways, so they have sex off camera, and then it cuts back, and she's like laying there naked, like just with like a blazer over her tits, and he's kind of laying the other way,
panting.
They're panting.
He's soaking wet.
She like reaches over and goes in his bag looking for the book, and she's like, "Where's the book? Where's the book?" And then she's like, "Don't you?" And then she like sits up. She's like, "Don't you fuck me over?" And Johnny Depp, like, he's got like a cigarette. He's like, well, "I thought I already did." And then she immediately grabs his hair. He's like, "Ah!"
He like, screams in pain and agony.
Yeah, she immediately grabs his hair and he's like, "Ah!" Yeah, she's screaming, and then she lifts him up, and he's just standing there, and he can't move because his pants are around his ankles.
She's dragging him across his apartment, and he's shuffling. It cuts to a shot of his feet, trying to shuffle to keep up with her, but his jeans and pants are around his ankles. And he's screaming, "Ah!" And she's screaming at him.
And then what does she do? I can't remember. Did she slam his head into something? Or?
I think she just starts beating the shit out of him and knocks him out.
Probably knocks him out because he gets knocked out a lot. He gets knocked out.
Temperatures rising, fever is high, can't see no future, can't see the sky, my feet are so heavy, so is my head, I wish I was a baby, I wish I was dead.
Alright, we should be live.
We're live and going.
Suck my dick and fuck my ass. We're live on the internet.
My dick.
Right on.
Alright, so, not feel good people.
Yes.
We got the old crew back. We got fucking my brother Max House.
Hello.
Got Dako Young.
Hello.
And my good friend, roommate, Aaron Rounds.
Hello.
Alright, so how the fuck are we doing today?
It's been
Tired?
Tired?
I feel like it's been a good week though.
So last night, Max, you came over and you left around 4:30
In the morning?
in the morning. Dako picked you up.
Dako picked me up. We
And
went out too.
I asked, because I texted my dad, I'm like, so did he make it home yet? And he's like, no. And this is like an hour later. I was like, weird.
You texted Mom and you texted them like I was dead.
Well, because when you left, I knew Dako was supposed to be up, but when you left, I didn't see there's no vehicle out there.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's because
So weird.
Dako picked me up. He was like, "You're like, oh, I'm here." I'm like, okay, so I walk outside, and Dako wasn't there. Dako was at my place. I was like, I'm here. So I'm standing outside.
You're not here.
You're not here.
Yeah.
And then Dako picked me up and
And we just headed right up.
headed up to the Rim Rocks. You want to tell the story?
Oh, it don't matter.
Yeah, you
Killed
do.
both.
You started off, and then ping pong.
Yeah, so we basically grabbed some Timmies, headed up there, met up with our other buddy.
Why were you up so early?
I don't know, we just want to watch the sunrise. We thought it'd be a good idea. Like,
It's so romantic.
sun comes
I love
up, you're just starting to peak kind of thing.
But
the sun, like, I guess, like, rises in
we
the
weren't
opposite
facing
direction.
the east.
Yeah.
The Rim Rocks face to the west.
Where the fuck is the sunrise? That's what he was talking about. You go there for the sunset, I guess.
Yeah, the sunrise in the exact opposite direction. Completely opposite. Couldn't see nothing.
So if you think it was kind of pointless to get up that early
All right.
for the whole sunrise thing, there was no sunrise.
Could have just
So you
Take
guys
a better
drive up
view.
there, and
Drive
then
up
what
there.
happens?
drop
We dropped,
drop some hallucinogenics.
allegedly.
Allegedly. You-
And
wait.
what was your big takeaway from it, Dak?
when you guys first told me this, by the way, I was like, "What? You left my house at 4:30 in the morning, then you went and did mushrooms?"
Also,
Crazy,
I've
right?
never heard people say they dropped mushrooms.
Yeah, yeah. You drop
Dropping.
acid.
Usually you eat mushrooms
Drop
dropped
those
them.
mushrooms right in my tongue.
and drop some
I
fucking
let the
beer.
dirt-
dirt,
chew it
the dirt soak in.
So like, you,
Okay, so yeah, we
someone had mushrooms, and then you guys were like, "Fuck it."
We dropped them at
Deckham.
like,
How'd you make the decision to do it right then?
Fucking,
it was, like,
that was the
really
decision.
last
Like,
minute.
yeah, like met up with Brian. Sunrise.
we planned this Friday, and it was
then-
Saturday. Like, we did it
and then
Saturday.
boom, hop up.
Yeah.
This is Saturday.
Yeah, this is Saturday. So we planned it literally yesterday. Like, let's get up 5 in the morning
Right.
and let's go do this. So we went up there. We dropped it at like 5,
Dropped some mushrooms.
5:15 or something like that. Sunrise is at 5:44. But then we're like, okay, there's no point. Let's just walk around and explore anyway because we can't see the sunrise.
The idea of doing mushrooms around that place scares the shit out of me because I'm always like, I'm scared I'm gonna like trip out and just like fall off the edge.
That was always my fear too. It's like for some reason I'd just be so out of my mind. I'm like, I'll just jump off this edge.
Right? That's the big fear.
is.
But I think you're more.
I think you're more
control.
grounded when you do mushrooms. Like
Yeah.
I've never had the opportunity to do like acid or PCP or any of those.
Right. Like other hallucinogenics,
From my
basically.
understanding, acid's not even that crazy.
Yeah.
Unless in like huge doses, right?
Yeah.
According to, I don't know, sources.
Yeah.
But that's never been a worry of mine, at least when I do mushrooms. I'm not like, oh, maybe I'll do
I'm gonna
something
go
stupid and
nuts.
fucking jump in front of a vehicle for no reason.
It's
That's always my fear.
mine.
I think that's more of like
Yeah.
a Hollywood type
I think
stereotype
so, too.
about it.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
Because like shit looks great, but I'm more into like talking when I'm on mushrooms. I'm
Yeah, not like,
we'll talk for days.
This is the end, man.
yeah.
I'll
it's
talk for days while grabbing random pieces of dirt around me and be like, "Wow, this is so
investigating it.
in detail."
Like laying in like dirt or grass on mushrooms is great. It feels like you're just falling into a nice comforter or something.
Well, what I like
love
about on mushrooms too is like when you're just out in nature, like the whole dirtiness of everything doesn't seem to matter
Exactly.
the entire time. Case
Yeah.
in point, like
Yes.
when we were on
Out of
mushrooms, we
Jim
never
Jam.
even talked about that on the podcast because I was
No,
gonna wait
that
till you
was-
and Mark were here.
I feel
all
like that
so
was a
happy.
penultimate trip.
That was an amazing trip. But let's finish your guys' trip story.
So what did you take away from? I took away.
But you guys just walk around basically.
Yeah,
There
I
was
did
some-
my
also, how
rocks.
many did you do? How many
It
grams?
was like
Light.
2 grams.
Yeah.
Oh
maybe
yeah,
a little
so
more.
just a nice
Just a
light
light.
little high.
Yeah.
I took away with. I really don't like the outdoors. I realized that. Even on mushrooms.
Although that's like usually the opposite for most people.
Yeah, but even on mushrooms, I realized like I got in Dakota's truck from being outside for like 30 minutes or however long. I'm like, as soon as I got in, I'm like, I am a fucking indoor creature, man. And the sun's not hitting me, and it's so nice. Oh, it's so comforting to not be outside in the rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I also took away. This is what gets me mad when like the idea of mushrooms. Okay, it's fun and I like all that and like the expanding your mind and all that, but I hate when people get too much into trying to explain things, you know. And on mushrooms, when you're
What do you
trying
mean?
to like trying to explain life, figure out life.
Oh.
You know, and that's the
yeah.
whole thing on mushrooms is your mind's trying to, or at least mine's trying to figure out life, death, how it all works out, right?
Right.
And I hate that because when people go on about that, even when I'm sober, I'm just like, yeah, but you know, in 5 hours, none of that fucking matters because you're still going to have to pay rent and you're going to be horny, and it doesn't matter what happens after we die, and it doesn't matter how we all began.
The epiphanies, you're right. The epiphanies do kind of. That's why I like that sort of feeling you get from it. That's kind of why I like to do mushrooms once or twice a year, or maybe 3 times a year, just because like you kind of lose some of that feeling after a while, just from like the grind of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does.
Yeah.
Doing mushrooms kind of rejuvenates that like faith in like we're all.
I've always
sort
found
of,
mushrooms to be kind of like a problem-solving drug. I
Yeah.
think mushrooms are a great drug to take when you're trying to figure something out, and like, or when you feel like something's bugging you, but you're not quite sure what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Take mushrooms, take a big trip
It'll
of
come out.
fucking mushrooms,
Or
and all
give
of a
you
sudden,
perspective on something that is bugging you. Like maybe even know what it is, but it'll give you
Yeah.
perspective, and you'll sort of realize like how silly it is to be that stressed out about that one thing.
oh, exactly,
You know?
super fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
top notch. My favorite drug I've done so far.
Oh, me too, by far. What about you, Dako?
I don't.
Is this your first time doing it?
No, I've done them a couple times now.
You're big into
Allegedly.
Dad's like, I'm a big
Allegedly.
shroom head, man. What do you expect? That's all I do. I'm on mushrooms right now.
I'm
does-
overdosing
right now?
acid
Does
right
everyone
now.
here know how they harvest mushrooms?
Dako?
I heard
Harvest?
cow shit, but it's just one of those things that I don't know if it's true.
I don't think it has to be cow shit. I think it's just shit, period.
Really? Just
I honestly, I got the internet. I could figure it out, but I like speculating.
Yeah, it's kind of
fuck
fun,
it.
right?
I like to go like pre-internet with
Yeah.
drugs and be like, how do they do this?
I definitely for that trip. I didn't come away with much though. Like,
Where you just like,
I
you
was-
just
I was
enjoy the ride. Sometimes
really-
it's just a fun
I was
ride.
just really like, I don't know, in a good mood, and just like, I guess I was just getting really into my own head, trying to figure out like, I was just like, man, what the fuck is this? Like, I was just like, just sitting there in my head, just like, what
I
the
like that.
fuck is going on in my head right now? Like, why am I thinking this like this into shit? Like, I don't know. I was just trying to like,
How'd the windmills look on mushrooms?
Oh yeah.
very.
I was gonna say, what's the coolest thing you looked at today while on mushrooms? Because there's always
visual-
something that sticks out in your head, like, oh,
Yeah.
that was fun to look at for a stupid amount of time.
Yeah.
It was definitely walking up to the windmills
Yeah.
and like walking up slowly and having this perspective of them. Like it was coming closer and it looked like a robot walking. And also I was like, we just watched The Wall too, so I really wanted to listen to The Wall, but I can't. There's no Pink Floyd around.
Right.
But walking towards that windmill reminded me from a scene of The Wall, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this
like
is
with
cool.
the hammers walking or something.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like that was the only real moment where I was like, oh, this is just like this is so cool, and I could just enjoy it.
Like, did
It
you
was
guys
very
stand
cool.
right underneath the windmills when you were high at all?
I
or-
did, yeah, just to get that. Because, I mean, that's the coolest. That's where you get the most visuals, I feel, is getting kind of perspective or distance on things.
I like when you're like when I was walking up to it and you're like looking up at it, but you're walking towards it at the same time, and just like
They're
just
so
getting
daunting
bigger and
looking.
bigger. Whoa,
Yeah.
just
Even when I'm
like
sober and I go up to them, like, Jesus Christ, these things are huge.
Oh, it's scary. And you can
crazy.
hear the
yeah.
Yeah. I can't help but like
clouds, the
fantasize what
clouds.
it'd be like to be on one of the wings while it's going. I'm like, oh, man, I'd die immediately. Like,
that is my biggest
like
fear with
attached to a
huge
swing.
objects.
yeah.
Like whenever I look at a skyscraper, I'm like, whoever built that? And then I just imagine like in their. That's what scares me about the Dragon in the West End Mall. Is I imagine some dude has to like go up there on a ladder and like tighten the ropes that are holding it up, and it's like
yeah,
really windy
yeah.
and shaky.
There's a just
Windy
to
in the West
clarify.
End. Some fuckers with the big fan. He's like, stop!
blows it.
I'm trying to fix the dragon. Just to clarify, there's a giant robot dragon in the West Edmonton Mall in the theater.
You can
That
definitely
blows
see it on
fire.
the internet. Oh, I heard, once again, probably could fact check this, but I'm just gonna not.
Right.
That they no longer have the dragon blowing fire anymore.
It's too dangerous?
I've heard that
What?
too.
I don't know. Too dangerous? Maybe it's fallen into a state of disrepair because the guy wouldn't go up and fix it anymore because
The
some guy
ladder
with a
was too
fan was just fucking with him all the time. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing this
You
anymore.
know what? If Ted's not going to stop doing the fan, I'm just not going to fix it. Guess what? No fire.
No fire.
Thanks, Ted.
Hope you're
Everyone
happy.
thank Ted.
You had to go up there and like screw in a propane bottle into the
Have you guys
dragon.
ever, like, kind of side topic, but have you ever been to the West End where the dragon's blowing fire at you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots.
Okay, how many people, when you were there, were stepping beyond the warning you'll get burned
Oh,
line?
I feel like I've saw a few people do that.
all
And
the time.
I
It's
don't
like literally.
Is
why
there a
would
warning
you risk
line?
it?
Yeah, there's a giant line that's like, okay,
It's on the
so, like,
balcony
yeah.
at the second floor.
So you go walk past it and just get lit
Well,
on
it's just
fire.
a fucking piece of paint on the ground. Like,
Right, yeah.
Not a force field. You can walk past it.
I've always wondered
So many
that.
people always like, right up against the balcony.
That's
what I did. I thought it was really hot, and I always wondered that.
Why is it so warm?
Yeah, just
so no eyebrows.
Dragons breathing right in my face.
That's
Oh
great.
man,
I
that's
also
fucking
got
crazy.
when we were on the way, this is a funny part of the fucking. After the trip, we're coming down, everything's fine.
Right.
We're heading back. I go
Ooh,
to.
side topic again. How
Yeah.
long did the trip last?
It was like 3 hours.
Oh, geez,
3
all right.
hours.
Like coming down.
No, that's not
3 hours.
That's a nice quick trip.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ,
Jesus.
you guys were back in town by 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like
Back
a
in
little-
town by the morning, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Anywho,
nice.
continue.
Which is kind of
So,
perfect.
After the trip, it was like nice. Me, Max, Brian were just chilling, just talking about like.
Brian bought muffins.
Ooh, that was good.
He bought like a Tim Hortons box of muffins.
Nice.
It was amazing.
I've been like really digging their blueberry muffins lately.
Oh, they have
They
Really
come
good.
in a bucket.
They got
What?
Do what?
I used to work at Tim's.
Whatever we I thought you meant like they sell them in
Yeah, I
buckets.
was like,
No,
unbelievable.
They ship them in, and it's just like a bucket, like an industrial, like looks
plastic?
like it could be easily filled with just like floor cleaner. And you just
Really?
open it up, and it's just fucking muffin mix. All
That's so
pre-mixed.
weird.
Scoop it into a thing.
Oh, you actually do bake those muffins there then?
Yeah, they bake them.
I thought they
Okay.
came like because don't the donuts come like frozen or something, and
Oh,
those
yeah.
are just warmed
You
up.
put them in like a glorified microwave.
Really?
Crazy.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But anyway,
they taste good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
it's
he's
like
been
their
that kind of
chili. Their
person.
chili comes in the bag, and
It comes in a plastic bag.
but their
that they
chili
heat up
is so fucking
in boiling
good.
water.
Tim Hortons chili's good.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about chili is the longer it waits, right? The more the flavors can meld together and be awesome. So
Yeah, it's true. So it's
presumably
had a
if it's
while to wait, at least.
probably a couple of years if it's in a bag.
It's fermented chili.
That's their secret.
There's this YouTube channel where this guy just eats old war rations.
Oh, dude, it's the greatest fucking channel
I
ever.
love it.
Oh, it's so good. He's like, all right, so he's a 1972 Korean War ration. Oh, this doesn't look too good. I'm
gonna eat it.
Oh, God. Oh, it's so bad.
And he keeps eating it. He goes, "It's so bad. Oh, it's rancid. I'm just gonna have another bite." Oh my god! Yeah, that bite was worse than the last.
What's wrong
Just
with
one
me?
more.
And it's always something like, it's always just like something that looks kind of like a paste a lot
Yeah.
of times.
What I've learned from watching that channel is recent war rations have gotten so much better.
And I've learned candy keeps for a very long time.
It makes me want to eat all my meals in a nice little prepackaged thing where I can undo them and shit.
just like a war ration.
Just like a war ration.
I wish they had some sort of word for this.
You start buying war rations from 1913 and eating it.
Yeah, I get the oldest war rations
That was a whole
possible.
plot of the Halloween episode on Community, wasn't it?
Was it?
They had like old army beef that turned them into zombies.
Was that what it was?
Yeah,
That sounds familiar.
Right. I thought it was a gas for some reason, but old army beef seems...
old army beef.
Hold on.
I like for a second I thought you were talking. Maybe you got it confused with the Seinfeld where George's dad was in the army and he got everyone in the latrine. He got everyone in his platoon sick because he had found like 10 pounds of spoiled beef and he just like tried to like put a ton of spices and shit in it to like hide the fact that it was spoiled.
Didn't it always look good when he puts this big orange dry rub on it?
Yeah, and
it
he
looks
just
really-
smacks it down with a huge paddle.
Yeah, and it looks like I don't know. It looks like taco seasoning or something. It looks really good.
He's like, I thought with just the right amount of seasoning and spices, and it's a pile of seasoning and spices on this
There's
big
a
brick of
pizza
beef.
paddle.
And he takes the paddle, he just pats it down. It's such a satisfying hit.
Okay, so on a scale of, I don't know, 1 to June Jam mushrooms, how were the mushrooms you did today?
I'd say less good than June Jam. June Jam was like,
Those are the best I've
To be
had.
fair,
Like,
that guy, I don't know whose shit he gets that from, like the queen herself. But like
was
those mushrooms make me
crazy.
just trip for
So
hours
good.
on end. Like
they're
what-
really visual too, which is
Like,
really nice. Sometimes
like-
you get mushrooms that are not visual at all.
yeah.
and that was an adventure. I feel like that was like we're stuck up on this mountain. We're out of our heads.
Yeah. Oh, that was like a journey.
Yeah, exactly. That was a freaking journey.
This was more
picture.
of an outing than the journey.
Exactly. Perfectly worded. It was an outing, not a journey.
Right.
It was a nice, smooth
it
outing.
was
You should angle that mic just down a bit.
the best part though.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta tell the best part of it.
There we go.
Best part
I'm
was
going back to town, dropping Max off. Still, like we're not tripping at all. You're completely like down from the trip, but you know how your head's you're still thinking
Fuzzy.
like
He's so fuzzy.
you're still thinking like
You're out of it
so
kinda
much
a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, I pull up, like right in front of Max's place. Max has got a neighbor, Rico.
Yeah, I got a duplex, and I don't know. I don't know what's up with this. My neighbor, but his trash can's been out for like a week, and he just hasn't. I don't know. It just hasn't been brought in.
Max is
So
literally.
Dako drops me off, and his trash can's like out on the actual street, like
Like on the road.
It's on the actual road. Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking at that, and I'm saying by that, I'm like, should I bring that in? You know, just,
Off the
for the fuck
curb.
of it, he hasn't brought it in.
I'm parked like behind the garbage can, like it's in front of my truck,
Right.
kind of thing.
Dako's like, like Sweet Sweeper might hit it. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm really tired. I've been up all night. I'm coming down, so I'm like, yeah, but fuck it, I'll let Rico do it. I'm going in, and so I get out and I take a couple steps. And that's like, see, all of a sudden I hear, boom, and I look back and Dako, boom. I look back, and the image I get is Dako, and he's a little bit past the trash can, and he realizes he hits it, and he's looking at me laughing his ass off as he's driving away. It's the most perfect time. I was like, yeah, maybe I should move that trash can.
No,
Alright, see you,
fuck
dude.
it.
Get
It was
out.
like-
Door slam. Boom. Dum, dum.
Within like 3 seconds, I'm like completely forgot about the trash can. I'm like saying that I'm already like moved on to something else, and I'm just running this trash can over. Oh, dude, it's great.
So I brought it up after that.
That's amazing.
That's good.
Rico probably thinks I'm a huge asshole for just running over his garbage.
He was like, what the fuck? I only left it out there for 3 weeks. How did someone hit it on the road?
Thinking about a garbage day was only yesterday, so I didn't really give him much time before.
It was literally like an hour before you showed up.
I'm like, look at this fuck.
It's
keeping
6
his
in the
garbage can
morning.
out. Yeah. Making us look dirty.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. I love the
That was
idea of
the best
Dako
one.
just maniacally laughing too as he drives
Driving
away.
away like a David Lynch.
So what'd you get up to after you dropped Max off?
I just went home and
Just went home?
chilled, and then had a nap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You
take
just
a-
home and passed out, or?
I went home. I took a 40-minute shower. I like taking
40-minute shower.
I usually take
like
a good 40-minute shower in the morning just to get myself in
Oh,
the
so
right
that's nothing new.
headspace.
That's just like classic you.
Yeah, I like a good long shower.
You're like
I can get-
Kramer.
I am. If I could spend it all day in the shower, I would. Does no one
That's
else
pretty
feel like that
sad.
way? Does no one else take long
I
ass
feel that way when I
showers?
just wake up in the morning in the shower. You're just like, I don't want to face my day.
I like to be in and out.
I get so sweaty all the time, and I'm always so sweaty that I'm just like, I want to take a shower all day and just stand in. No one lay down in the showers? No one ever laid down in the shower?
I
lay
used
down
to,
in the shower
I used to lay
before.
down in the shower and masturbate all
Really?
the time.
Used to.
I used to get
big is
like
the shower?
high
Do you
in the
full
morning.
lay down?
At a certain
Cranker.
point in high school, for like
I guess it's
I'm going to
attached
say
that,
2 week
though.
period, there was a bit of hashish in town, right? And I had a little bit. It was when I first started watching Dexter.
Uh huh.
Weird. And it was the only time I smoked hash, and it was really good. It was really nice. I was watching Dexter,
Uh huh.
and I was loving it, just stoned out of my mind. But I used to go in the shower, and then just like I'd get so comfy, I'd just be like, oh, and I'd lay down and like get comfy. I don't know, and like lay there for 10 minutes. Sometimes I'd nod out for like a minute or two and wake up, and I'd be like, oh. And then I thought, like, what if this can't be healthy, because what if I start getting like pneumonia or something, right? Can't be
I
healthy.
figured you'd think like drowning first before
Yeah,
pneumonia.
that's what I would thought.
You fall asleep in the shower. What if
It's
your
kinda like-
what if your foot like plugs the drain? Slowly filling up.
You slowly drown yourself.
It is. It almost waterboards you at such certain points.
Wait. Has anyone ever? I'm. How would I put? Okay, have you ever been like
Waterboarded.
drunk and like went to shower or bath or something like that? But you're like
Yeah.
so drunk you wake up in the bathtub.
No.
Never done that. No.
Oh my god. So me neither. Daryl.
Oh, okay.
It's one time I can't remember. I
think it was in
He did
Vancouver.
it himself, or yeah, it was in Vancouver.
Yeah, it was when we first moved to Vancouver.
or something like what we
He got hammered.
put him in the bath, did we not?
Yeah.
Ah, terrible idea.
He got hammered and he just was like, he just fell asleep in the bath. Like, and he woke up, I guess in the morning, and the water got all cold and he was freezing because the water was freezing.
We're like, just let me in. I gotta piss. He comes out, fucking wrapped in towel, blue lips.
Daryl's lips are huge, so that means a lot. He's got giant lips. Oh, that was so fucking
Kind of
funny.
brings up the topic. How many times do you think you've almost accidentally killed yourself?
Oh,
Just like by doing stupid things, and you're like, that
Like,
probably should have killed
like
me.
waking
Yeah.
up the next morning,
Like
being
waking up in a bathtub.
Yeah. Or I'm at
gonna
almost
say
every time
handful.
anyone unnecessarily passes someone, I always think like this is it. Like we could get killed. Like someone's passing someone on the highway over a hill or something,
and you're like split second,
yes.
it's going to happen.
and like anything could happen.
The old Ricky Bobby passing. If you ain't first, you're last.
yeah. And I'm just like every time someone does it, I fucking my teeth clench, and I'm like this could
You're,
be it.
you're just waiting for a quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, car crashes are fucking
Waiting for that
terrifying.
big semi to come over. It's not going to be a tiny car. It's going to be a huge vehicle.
Yeah.
I
You had a
I
near
almost get that
miss.
feeling like every time I'm drunk, I almost get that feeling.
Yeah.
So you're going to run into a semi?
No, like I wake up and I'm like, oh, I could have died last night. Because
So
I always
fucked
wake
up.
up and I'm like, not even like so fucked up. I'm like, I was just doing anything stupid. I could have tripped and hit my head.
There was a lot of like nights in Vancouver where I'm like I could have easily where I'd like just walked across Vancouver drunk, and I'm like I could have got mugged or something easily.
Right.
You almost died recently, like last year.
Go on.
The mom's when mom's fourth wheel almost fell in your head.
Oh yeah, that was
Oh, right.
crazy. I forgot about that. That
What?
was nuts.
Wasn't that
we were
Also
out?
about the same time Jerry lost a
That's
couple.
the same moment, yeah. Because
Exactly.
my
I know.
where
So we
where
were-
my dad's fingers were, Max's head was under.
Yeah, we were out at Eris, and we were staying in a trailer like a fifth wheel, and me and my dad were, I forget what we were doing.
I think it wasn't level or something.
Yeah, we're trying to level it or something, and we're like propping it up, and it was on a jack and shit, and I forget what happened. I forget how it happened. My head was under, and I was doing something. I was jacking it, and then I got out, and my dad started.
You were jacking
My dad started
jacking it.
My dad started jacking it. And then the jack just fucking boom shot out, and like,
Well, after you'd lifted your head from underneath of it, right? Like
I'm out of it. He's under it.
His fingers are under it, right? Like he's kind of
The
like
jack shoots out. The trailer just goosh, like falls down. Like you ever see like a bridge explode and like just the bridge goes boom and falls on the cement?
Yeah.
It's just like a dead weight. Just like there's no bounce on the ground or nothing. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
like a boom, boom, and hits the
and it
ground.
landed
hard.
right on our dad's fingers and like crushed his fingertips. He had to like get him amputated.
No, they cut it off. They didn't have to amputate it. The
That's
trailer
what it
cut
is.
them off.
That's what cutting him off is amputation. Yeah,
No,
bro.
but he didn't have to get them amputated. The trailer already amputated it for him.
Right, but didn't they have to cut it off, anything off further or no?
No, what they had
No,
to
I
do
think they
is
just had to,
find
like-
the weirdest doctor in the world who was like, "Yeah, I can get your fingernail back on there."
And he put his fingernail in like the complete wrong place on my dad's finger. It's bizarre.
It's on the
Literally-
very
yeah.
tip, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
on the flat part?
It's literally on the one, or at least at the time. I don't know what's happened
Also,
since.
Loren has joined us, by the way.
Hello.
Remember him showing me, and they just like Frankenstein grafted his fingernail onto the like tip of his finger,
But like
so
where
like
the
where you would
pad of
poke
your
something.
finger almost always is.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, like so.
Like if
If
my
you're
dad were to
dialing
point,
numbers on your phone and the thing you're poking with, imagine that is now a fingernail.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the butt of the nail, like the full, like it's weird.
Yeah.
It's hard to describe. Like if my dad was pointing at you, his fingernail would be pointing down.
Yeah, like
But
imagine
then you just see like the most of the
yeah.
nail, like where.
cut off like half an inch of your finger and then just wrap the skin around that.
Yeah. Anyways, your head was under where his fingertips were.
Yeah,
Basically.
more important, I mean, scarier than that was the fucking jack shooting out at 2,000 fucking miles an hour. Boom! Right next to me.
Oof, yeah,
That
that's
was
upsetting.
scary because I'm like, that'd be fucking terrible. Get like hit in the gut with that, and just be like, oh, fuck.
Okay. Quick aside, that reminds me of
goes
on
near-
my first day at work at this place called USB. I don't work there anymore, but when I was
Oh.
younger. So, USB, United Spring and Break, and my mom's boyfriend got me a job there.
truck shop.
Yeah, it's like they repair like semis and stuff like that.
Right.
And they repair leaf springs for the shocks for the trucks. Anyways, the leaf springs have a thing in it called a bushel, and sometimes they got to replace them, and sometimes they rust in there. And what you do is you take it's like about the size. The end of the bushel is probably about the size of a large apple.
Okay.
And then what you got to do is you got to take like a punch, which is just like maybe like a metal cylinder, like about 2 inches wide and then about probably 5 inches long.
Nice.
And then you
My
take
kinda
it and you put that
cylinder.
under the hydraulic press, and that hydraulic you hold. There's got to be a better way to do it, but you hold the punch, and the hydraulic press comes down on the bushel.
Yeah.
It's like 800 pounds of pressure or something, and it forces the bushel out of the leaf spring, right?
Right.
But sometimes, if it's not, the punch isn't set correctly, it can like wobble and then just shoot out. It's really dangerous. You should actually have a cage, I think. But anyway, so
I'm
Butch,
imagining
my mom's boyfriend, the guy who got me this
Tommy
job.
Boy.
The guy who got me this job. It's my first day. I'm nervous. I'm like, I don't know what to say to anyone. And I'm sweeping the floor, and I'm walking by. I see Bush looking at this, talking to this guy while he's undoing this bushel. And the punch pops. It's like 800 pounds of pressure that just shot into his chest via like a metal cylinder.
I love this story.
And then like he was like trying to like walk away from me. He's like, I'm fine. And then he just collapses. And I thought he was like dead. Like everyone thought he was dead. And I'm like, holy shit. They had to take him to the they had to call an ambulance. And I was like, this is my first fucking day. And I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm just like, oh, dude. And then he ended up being fine. He was fine. And then like 2 weeks later, we were cleaning up the shop at the end of the day. It was me and him, and he was talking to me. And he's like, yeah, I gotta go to the office for some reason. And then like maybe 5 minutes later, one of his coworkers is like, oh yeah, Butch had to be rushed to the hospital. He had a heart attack. And when he was having a heart attack in front of me, and he didn't want to like let on that he was having a heart attack, so he excused himself to the office.
He's a cowboy.
He doesn't want to seem weak in front of Breyon. I thought when I first heard the piston story thing,
Yeah.
like he played off like, yeah, I'm fine. Just gotta.
That's pretty
and he
much
just
it.
like
That was-
leaves out of your line of sight and then collapses. See you tomorrow, Breyon.
Walks right out the door.
Like I saw the bruise, and it was fucking brutal, dude. It was like. I think that might have been what caused his heart attack 2 weeks later, because
Yeah, probably.
like a blood clot or something like got into his heart.
Or maybe he just had PTSD and like someone was like
Jesus.
doing something with whatever the piston-y thing that they do.
Dako had a fucking fuck my near-death experience. Dako fucking flew off of a bucking bronco into a bar and broke his ribs and fucking
It was
like
it was a mechanical bull, but it was like one of the
Yeah.
mechanical bulls that other people push or something.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
here's the story. I'll tell the story from my point of view, then you tell the actual story.
Okay.
I got a text from Dakota saying you got flown off from a bucking bronco into a bar. And so what I took that as is like Lone Star brought in a bucking bronco for the weekend as like an attraction. And Dako, you were drinking a lot at the time, partying. You're trying to keep up with Steve, I remember. And so I just imagine you like you're in your party mood, you're drunk, you're laughing, you get on the bucking bronco, and then in my head like just the guy who was running it or whatever just had it cranked up to high
He's like,
velocity.
and you're
And it was bucking
like you were
down
like
from-
shit talking the operator. And you're like,
and it
this
was
is all
going
this
so
fucking thing
hard
can do.
that it flew you off, and you flew across the building and like landed at the actual bar where you got your drinks into your rib cage, like
I'm gonna whiskey up rocks.
But what actually happened?
No, I went to a house party, and I got pretty shit faced, and then we went outside, and there was like a bull riding training
a barrel
thing.
tied between two trees.
Basically a big long it's a big long metal rod. On the one end is just like a bucket, and the other end I guess somebody grabs and like moves up and down. It's on the
This is one person.
I get. So I hopped on this like there's no I guess there's supposed to be like a saddle on the barrel.
But
so
you
can-
just like fuck it.
so you can hold on to something, but I just got on the barrel. And I guess like somebody just like came up and grabbed it and like pushed it down really fast. And I just like it just launched me like off the air
Like a cannonball.
and like all I remember is just like
What'd
hitting
you
the-
hit?
Like it's like metal. I flew off and like landed on like what it was made like
structure
which
of
was
what it was
supporting
built
it.
The
on.
structure of the bull itself.
It's like metal bar, yeah. It was just like a metal bar, and I landed on that, and I hit the ground. I just remember not being able to breathe, just like couldn't fucking breathe, and all I was just laying there in like pain. And then eventually, after like 15 minutes, I got up, and then eventually like called my dad and I was like, yeah, I gotta get home. Like,
Oh, that's so
I'm in
uneventful.
so much pain.
That's
and that-
so funny though. Like that version of the story is so much like less epic, but way funnier.
I don't know why I thought it.
Did you ever look at your death, Lauren?
No. No. It's just like those. I used to love to walk home from the bar in like tank tops and -40.
Right.
And I
so you could
didn't
have
think,
frozen. Yeah.
so like, but not really. But my mom would be like, "You're gonna die." I was like, no. So that's like as close as it gets for me.
If your brother ever comes on, he's got the best like near death.
Why? What does he do?
Denton?
He fell off like a 2-story house.
Right, yeah. He fell 21 feet, which, like, I mean, that's pretty bitch.
Just
compared
about
to-
22 for you. I'll tell you that much. 22 is when it gets lethal.
That foot saved him. Mm-hmm. Saved his life. Can you imagine, like, there's people who've, like, fallen, like, someone's punched a guy, and then they've, like, fallen from where they stood and then smashed their head against, like, the cement and died.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Case in point,
that's
that
your
hap-
fucking death?
That happened in Fort St. John.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, like some dude at a, like
Like the bouncer or something.
someone downtown. It was a whole story a couple of years ago about some kid who got like jumped by people, fucking punched, and then hit the ground and died.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah, what a way to go, right? Also, in Canada Center, right?
Right,
Where the
yeah.
guy got fucking beat up at a Headley concert for
Oh,
spilling
right.
a beer on someone.
At all bands, Headley.
It's just like
Rock and roll, man.
bit where
You, you spill a beer someone at a Headley concert, you think you're going to be fine. You end up, did he get stabbed to death or did he just get beat
he
to death?
literally just got the shit kicked out of him until
Wow.
like his brain hemorrhaged,
I
man.
love
Like
how everybody
oh.
says that though. Like, oh, it's just Headley. Like, as if it happened at Megadeth, it'd be like, that's fine, it's Megadeth.
It's like it's a little more like if you're at a death metal concert, it's a little more like not expected, but a little more
Dangerous
something.
feeling?
Like,
It's
it
like
just
that's-
like it feels like
yeah.
something that could have happened, and
It's
you're
like-
like, oh,
yeah.
well,
That happened at
that's
a
what
Cannibal
happens.
Corpse concert.
Yeah,
if it's a Cannibal
Megadeth
Corpse, you're
have
like, oh,
crazy fans. Their name is Megadeth.
but not like
death.
Yeah.
yeah, Headley.
Not Headley. And they never addressed it. What was that like? Oh man, when they came back, the name of their tour was super like. It was super ironic that was the name of the
Death
tour.
Punch.
It was something like the To Live tour or something like that.
It was called Urinal Headache.
You're no headache.
Well, like that's really distasteful. But that's why it's not feel good
Yeah.
people, right?
That's right. That's right.
Are we still talking near deaths? Have you
Sure.
shared yours?
I have a near death.
Well, do you? I don't know.
I don't. I'm trying to think.
I feel like most of my near deaths, I feel like you'll feel the same way. Are those mornings where you wake up after partying or whatever, and you're just like, I could have just like did too much and just
Yeah,
slipped into
yeah.
a coma and just
like,
like
I used to take a lot of like heavy
Overdose.
painkillers and drink heavily. Like,
Yeah, and you just don't-
And I could have. That
That's
could
right,
have
and it's
easily
just
gone
funny, and you
south
keep going,
so
and it's
many
just like,
times. I could have
oh.
like probably puked on my like choked on my own vomit a lot.
All right.
Like
That's
the
one
amount
you
of
just
times
gotta
I've
forget
drank. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's probably a lot of that shit that has happened that I'm not aware of.
That's the scariest. That's what
Yeah.
scares me. Is like, and it can happen so easily because you're in that party mood and you're like, boom, let's keep
Yeah.
going. Yeah. And then you just wake up and you're like,
Or don't.
oh no.
Or don't, yeah.
Or don't wake
happened.
up.
All right, let's lighten the mood with a different topic.
Oh, so dark.
So how
I
about
was gonna
that?
say Danica's pregnant, but I mean we talked about that last episode.
How about that Roman Polanski flick last night?
Oh, that was amazing!
The Ninth Gate.
The ninth, we watched the ninth gate. Me and Max watched the trailer and we're like, okay, like Johnny Depp's a book detective and he's
Satan.
something about Satanists, and we're like, okay. And then we saw it was Roman Polanski and we thought this is gonna be great. Roman Polanski's he's so
Yeah.
good
It came-
that people are willing to look over the fact that he like raped a 14-year-old 20 years
and
ago.
it came up at the end of the trailer too, so it's like directed by Roman Polanski. So like, oh shit,
yeah.
well, let's give it a shot.
What a mess of a movie.
Oh
It was
my
so
God.
fucking funny though.
It was. I loved it.
I loved it too.
I love the pacing. Like, you know, ironically loved the pacing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
felt really disjointed and weird, and I loved how characters didn't seem to care about things that they probably should have
Especially
cared
the
about.
main character didn't give a shit about anything. All this stuff was happening to him, and he was
like
so.
his best friend / partner dies, and
And
he's just like,
Yeah, he
He's just
walks
like-
by, literally like almost steps over him.
He's like, "Well, is my book still here?" Like, it makes us like. First of all, okay. The setup of the movie is Johnny Depp's this guy who like collects and finds rare books and he authenticates them. And this millionaire calls him up and he's like, I have this very rare book, this like devil book, that's supposedly written by the devil.
Written by the devil himself.
And he's like, there's 2 other in existence.
Yeah.
And he's like, can you go authenticate those other 2? Here's my copy of the book. And he's like, okay. And he's like, the other 2 copies are in like Spain and France.
Yeah.
And you think from that point, the logical next step is he goes to Spain and France. But no, he stays in New York for like 2 weeks
Not
after
even
that.
Like after they set up the plot point, Johnny Depp and that dude have like a 15-minute conversation at the window, talking about it. The whole movie doesn't move any of the plot forward, which I noticed. Like the whole movie is him investigating the books, but he never reads the books. You never get even a passage from the books. All you get from the books are
the pictures.
Yeah, you get 2 different pictures, like in a newspaper, where you have to tell the difference. And that's all Johnny Depp throughout the whole movie does, is like compare pictures and goes like, "Oh, that's different in that picture." He never
he's
reads
got 3
the book.
fingers here.
Yeah, or like this door is sealed off in this picture, and then in this copy, the door is not sealed off.
Yeah, it's literally just like the newspaper
What,
clippings.
what I love is like before he leaves to France or Spain, probably my favorite moment, hands down, in the movie is when this woman shows up at his apartment and she
The
wants
wife of the
the
guy who's holding the
previous
book.
owner.
Oh yeah.
And she wants the book, and she's like, if you, I'll buy that book off you, and I'll give you a bonus, kind of thing. And like this wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I'm gonna fuck you thing. And Johnny's like, well, let me grab some drinks. And he walks up, he gets 2 scotches, and she's sitting on the couch, and he kind of walks up to her, and then shows a shot where it's her head, and he's like walking up to her, his crotch is like head level, and instead of like grabbing the drink, she just like palms his dick, like she just like open hand palms his dick and like looks up at him, and then and Johnny Depp plays such a snide, quippy piece of shit in this movie.
Really.
Like he's such a like you just want to punch him.
back for everything you say.
He's like, and so okay, they have sex. The camera pans out, and they're like, oh wait, before they're making out, and Johnny Depp lifts her skirt up a little bit, and it
right.
closes up on this tattoo of a snake on her ass.
Really
cheek.
small, weird.
Really small snake tattoo on her ass cheek. Almost like, watch out, Depp, she's bad. Like, there's a snake tattoo on her butt. And then so they fuck. And
They also have the weirdest kissing scene too.
right? It was
That
like a
was
closed
gross.
It
mouth.
was like an open mouth, but they weren't doing it. Like they opened both their mouths, smashed them together, and then just kind of rotated their faces.
Yeah, it was a.
I remember Loren was super wet during that kissing scene. She was saying so. She's like, "Nice, I'm so wet." Anyways, I thought that would go somewhere. It didn't.
Lauren has to react.
True.
Lauren just looked horrified at me. Like, oh, that didn't happen. Anyways, so they have sex off camera, and then it cuts back, and she's like laying there naked, like just with like a blazer over her tits, and he's kind of laying the other way,
Panting. If
panting.
I remember
They're panting.
correctly.
He's
And
soaking wet.
She like reaches over and goes in his bag looking for the book, and she's like, "Where's the book? Where's the book?" And then she's like, "Don't you?" And then she like sits up. She's like, "Don't you fuck me over?" And Johnny Depp, like, he's got like a cigarette. He's like, "I thought I already did." And then she immediately grabs his hair. He's like, "Ah!"
He screams in pain and agony.
Yeah, she immediately grabs his hair and he's like, "Ah!" Yeah, she's screaming, and then she lifts him up, and he's just standing there, and he can't move because his pants are around his ankles.
She's dragging him across his apartment, and he's shuffling. It cuts to a shot of his feet, trying to shuffle to keep up with her, but his jeans and pants are around his ankles. And he's screaming, "Ah!" And she's screaming at him.
And then what does she do? I can't remember. Did she slam his head into something? Or
I think she just starts beating the shit out of him and
She
knocks him
probably
out.
knocks him out because he gets knocked out a lot in that movie.
He gets knocked out
It's like
twice.
his thing.
at
Like
least.
he should have brain damage.
yeah, absolutely. So after he fucks around in New York for like another week after that, he finally goes to Spain.
finally starts investigating the books.
And he reaches fucking John Cleese.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. He
Was
reaches
it John Cleese? It was
No,
very
I
John
think it was just an
Cleese-esque
old-
looking guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's
Might
when
as
he
well have
starts
been John Cleese.
comparing pictures all of a sudden.
And all of a sudden he's like, I've seen this in a newspaper
Oh, by the way,
before.
he's supposed to be examining 2 priceless books. And the entire time, he's smoking over them. He's like ashing out around the books. He's blowing smoke into the books.
Yeah, like if you gotta suspend your disbelief, like that one was a hard one to get past because I'm like, I've seen people in like on YouTube videos trying to like handle
really old art, which presumably a book would be classified as like old art, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're in like an airtight chamber, vacuum sealed. They look like they're dealing with radioactive material. They got gloves on, like they're not allowed to breathe near it.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking like opens the book, smacks it. He's like, all right, lights up a cigarette,
He's just chain smoking right into the book.
blowing the smoke into the pages, flipping it around. He's not even like carrying with the paper. He's just like, all right, next page, next page, next page.
And then, this is great. After he's done examining the one book and comparing, seeing like the photographs in the book are or the pictures in the book are slightly different.
Yeah.
He like walks out, and apparently he walked there. By the way, he's aware at this point in the movie that people are following him, and this is that day his best friend has just gotten killed.
Yeah.
Okay, from people that are looking for him.
His only friend, I think.
So does he rent a car when he goes to Spain? No, he decides to walk everywhere. The safest way to travel. And so he walks out of that, like, John Cleese's mansion, and he looks over and he sees a car, and the car just tries to run him down.
The mansion is out of town. It's a rural mansion.
Does he get a car after that? No. He does not rent a car after
They've been
that.
walking for days to get out to John Cleese's mansion, right?
Right? It looks like
How
they're
close to
going
the
nowhere.
airport is this countryside manor? And it's not a manor, sorry, it was a castle.
Yeah,
castle in Spain.
Full-out castle.
This movie sounds great.
Gotta be fairly far from
Yeah.
modern infrastructure. Right? Like, to be a castle.
And then
Walks all the way there.
the car misses him, and he's looking, and
The best part, okay, he sees the car, he's like, oh shit, what do I do? And he's standing beside a tree. What does he do? Stands beside the tree,
Yeah, he
not
doesn't go
behind the
behind
tree. He's standing beside it. He's like, oh no.
The car almost hits him. It doesn't hit him, though. And then it stops, and he's just standing there fucking scared shitless. And then someone tries to come out of the door and get him. But just as they come out, a fucking red motorbike pulls up, and the car's like, oh shit, and the car speeds away. But then the motorbike just speeds away, and you don't know who's on the motorbike.
and then he goes to a cafe, and he sees the guy who he knows was in the car, right?
Yeah.
He's this guy, it's this black guy with like a blonde hair and a mustache.
Wesley
recognizable.
Snipes from Demolition Man.
Yeah, exactly. But nowhere near as like intimidating. Like nowhere near as buff. He looks like pretty kind of like average body. He's got a dad body.
He looks like someone you'd see in like a gay club in the 90s.
Yeah, and then so like he's in this cafe, he sees him across the road. So Johnny ducks into this like diner cafe, and he's just sitting there for like there's a time lapse, so presumably in their hours, and he's just looking at this guy out the window. The guy's looking back at him, and then how they cut that is someone in the diner turns the lights on. All of a sudden Johnny's just looking at his own reflection in the glass. He looks at his own reflection in the glass for 5 minutes, and then
Just like the wrong guy scene.
yeah, exactly. And then so then he walks out of the restaurant, and of course the guy's not across the road anymore. But then he looks over and he's in the cart. He tries to run him down again. But then the person on the motorbike, this girl, kind of like follows him, and she saves him from death. But how she does it is just weird. Johnny Depp ducks down, like he goes down these stairs.
The black guy chases him.
There's like a black guy's chasing him, and then Johnny Depp goes down these stairs, which is kind of by a pier, like kind of under a bridge almost, I guess.
Kind of like a weird waterway type thing.
Yeah, it's
You know,
always-
European architecture.
Yeah, exactly. And this girl who saves him doesn't walk down the stairs. She floats. She flies down the stairs. She
Yes.
floats down the stairs, saves him, and then no one asks her why she was flying
Johnny
down
Depp
the
doesn't
stairs.
bat an eye at it.
He didn't even think it was weird. No one thought it was weird
do you mean her
that she could
flying?
fly. She literally, instead of like walking down the stairs, she was gliding down the stairs like she was flying.
It was like a vampire movie, like
Just glide.
ooh, yeah. Really smooth glide, and then she comes down and she
kinda
kicks
like
the shit out
Lost
of the black
Boys.
guy.
She like
Exactly, it was
She's
exactly
gonna
like
float.
It
Lost Boys.
looks a lot like Lost Boys. Yes, absolutely. But no one. The weird part is like Johnny Depp afterwards talks to her, and they go to his hotel room, and he never once is like, "Why were you flying?"
She's just a regular girl. She's like some.
She's very clearly not. Like
Johnny
her
Depp-
eyes glow, and she has super strength. You find out later in the
Oh,
movie.
she's doing some weird like Jackie Chan moves to the black guy. Like the weakest looking kick ever, but he flies like 500 feet.
And every time Johnny Depp asks her who she is or anything about her, she doesn't answer him. She just looks at him. And then it just cuts to
disappears.
the next scene. And Johnny Depp doesn't care. She's
She
like,
pulls a Batman on him every time. She's like, so like, what's your
Yeah.
name? And then turns around, she's gone.
she's driving down the highway.
And Johnny
he's
Depp's
like,
always like, he's never reacting. All this crazy shit is happening to him, and he's never like freaking out or anything. He's just aloof the whole fucking time.
Maybe that's just what happens when you're a book detective. It's like,
Well, that was the best scene. Like, before he went on all this, he was talking to some, like, probably the wife before she fucked him, and she goes, what do you do? And he's like, I track down books, I authenticate them. She's like, so you're a book detective? and then he's like, yeah. And then I'm like, no, what? So you're a book detective?
He
Like, who
runs
says
into her
that?
previous to the scene, by the way, in a library. He just can't detect her because there's too many books around.
Oh, right. That's where he first sees a motorcycle chick. He runs into her in a library in New York. But then, so he goes back to get that book that he was authenticating from John Cleese. And, of course, John Cleese is dead. The book's burned. Like, it's just done. Like, he's like, well, I guess I'll go to France to get the other book. And he goes to France. And, I almost forgot. When he finds John Cleese dead, that blonde girl that protected him was also there. Like, she was just already there. And
Knew where he was, too. She pointed at the pond.
Yeah, she knew where the dead body was. And then, so he's dead. And he's like, what do we do? And she's like, well, let's go to France. And then it just cut, after like 2 weeks in New York, before the plot gets started, it just cuts to him in a plane after he finds the dead body.
And she's sleeping on his
And
shoulder.
she's sleeping on his shoulder for some reason, and it doesn't explain anything. They're just on a plane, and they just continue talking as if they have still just seen the body dead. They didn't have a conversation about it on the way to the airport, while they're waiting in the terminal, while they're checking their luggage.
It's pre 9/11 though. This is 1999.
That's a good point.
You know, he probably got on that. He probably showed up at the airport like 5 minutes before his flight and got on it.
He didn't have time to even ask her.
He probably just showed up, gave him the money, bought the ticket right then and there, and got on immediately.
Yep.
And so they're on the plane. They go to France, and he meets this this old woman in a wheelchair, and there's a lot of back and forth. Like, she kicks him out, he comes back. Either way, she lets him finally examine her book, because he told her he saw inconsistencies.
The scene coming up is great.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. So he's sitting there examining like the two books, and he's like, you know, people have been chasing him down the entire time, but of course he faces his back to the door.
Right. The best part about the room he's in, investigating this book, it's kind of a corridor-esque room with a giant table in it, right?
Yeah.
There's only one entrance to the room, though. So with a guy that's being chased down constantly, you think he would sit at the other end of the table where he could see the entryway? Right? But no, he faces his back perfectly, be like, there, I can never see anyone coming. He could even literally sit to just the
To the
right or
side.
left. Like, he'd see
He
people
literally
coming.
picked the very worst spot he could sit.
Yeah.
Any other place would have been fine.
Yeah. You can at least see something coming and react.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
His periph.
Yeah.
But instead, no, back facing, someone knocks him out while he's examining the book.
Blackjacks him.
Blackjacks him, right. And then he wakes up, and you see the wheelchair lady who owns the book, and she's just, her electric wheelchair is just like, and she's just hitting the wall over and over again in her electric wheelchair.
Her neck's all loose.
Her neck's all loose.
Which is kind of weird, because like you would think in an electric wheelchair, like, because she's dead at this point.
Why was her hand?
Why was she able to bounce back off the wall? You think she'd be running into the wall constantly? You'd hear the tires spinning out or something.
No, yeah, exactly.
It was like,
But she was backing up and re-hitting the wall. What? Yeah, dude, it made no sense.
And he's like, oh, and he goes and he checks on her, and she's got like Academy Award fucking face.
The goofiest. He turns her around, and her tongue is fully out of her mouth to the side, and she's got like bug eyes, and they're facing opposite directions. Like, it is the funniest face.
It looks like she got killed by the Grudge. like it looks like she was petrified. It looks like she was petrified to death. It
All
was
right,
amazing.
Lauren's gone. See you, Lauren.
Bye, Lauren.
Yeah, her eyes are so bugged out, and her tongue's out of her mouth, and then she just.
But like in a position that you possibly couldn't die in, like.
If
If we had visuals on this podcast, like.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's like she was in a competition to like make the goofiest face.
It really is. It was hilarious. There's no way it wasn't. Anyone could find it anything but funny.
But
and
he turns
then
her
she
around.
lets go of her wheelchair, and she flies out of the room, and her neck's all wobbling like it's like rubber, and her head's flying back and forth as her automatic wheelchair is flying, and it flies out the door. As the door flies open, you see the room's on fire, and she just flies into a pit of fire.
It's like she's on a track though, because her wheelchair goes forward where Johnny Depp's not holding it, but then she turns left to go around
You're
the
like,
table
but yeah,
and then takes it
perfectly
right.
curves around the table. It's like, all right, now you're gonna curve around this table to get through this door here.
And then she smashes through double doors, just hits it with her wheelchair, and the doors just boom fly open into
How
a
is this
room full of
wheelchair
flames.
controlling itself? I have no idea.
Satan, probably.
It's steering.
She's like
around.
parks perfectly in the middle of the fire. Just wheelchair dies then in the middle of the fire. And he just looks at her and he's like, all right, and leaves.
He's still aloof. He's still like, oh shit, I better get out of here. I guess his fucking room's on fire. And that other priceless book he was examining is also in the fire. Like, it is also. They didn't take his copy of the book though. Then, oddly enough.
At that point, I think.
Oh no, he hid his. He's like, I got it. I'll hide my book behind the refrigerator.
His
Right,
mini
in his
fridge.
hotel room. He didn't bring the actual book. He brought copies of the pages. He wanted to investigate, aka those, find the differences between these two pictures.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes,
He just
yes.
had photocopies.
Exactly. And so it goes at this point. He goes back to his hotel room. Surprise, surprise! It's
Book's
not behind the
gone.
fridge anymore. Whoever burned the other book has his copy. And then I forget. Somehow he figures out it's the girl who fucked him in New York, who beat the shit out of him,
He
who's
gets-
been stealing his
Well,
books.
because this is really cool, like, hotel connoisseur guy, like the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who's running the front desk, who's just like apparently like the top-notch fucking hotel clerk.
lobby guy.
He's like, yeah, sorry, my assistant let your quote-unquote wife up to the room.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again. It's like, well, it's already
never happen
happened and fucked everything over.
And so he figures it's her, and he tracks her down to this castle with that blonde girl who's got superpowers. And he finds him in like a satanic ritual where she's wearing a robe. Before that, though, when he's sneaking into the castle, there's this weird scene where she's like getting dressed, and he's just like watching her get dressed.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, the girl who stole his book. He's with the blonde girl, right? And they're outside of the window watching the girl who stole his book. Yeah, put on the robe.
And she's just naked, and he's just like, I'd recognize that ass anywhere.
Yeah, they sit there and watch, and they wait till she's finished dressing to come into the room and be like, "Hey!" All they do is be like, "Hey, we know what's going on. Give me back the book."
Yeah, like they break in, like, he's giving my book back, and she's like, and she goes to like her black muscle blonde guy.
Which
She's like,
you
take
think-
care of them.
Like, if you wanted to get the jump on someone while they're getting dressed is a much better time than
Dude, you
after
feel
they
so much
get
more
dressed.
vulnerable, right?
Like, if I'm sitting there putting pants on and someone breaks into my room, I have a lot less time to respond than
Yeah.
my clothes are already on.
Yeah, dude. No doubt. Like, if someone broke in if like a burglar broke in and I was naked in my room, I don't know what the fuck I'd do.
That's why I don't sleep naked. Or if there's a fire or something.
I figure it's kind of an intimidating thing, though. Like, if you fucking fly at the burglar naked, you'd be like, what the fuck is
Huge boner. You're hard as fuck.
There's
This
an
really-
African warlord called General Buck Naked who goes around with a machete just buck naked, and they call him General Buck Naked because he's a crazy African warlord who just goes around chopping heads off buck naked.
That's amazing.
That seems kind of scary to me because, like, dick flaying around with a big old piece of sharp metal, like, I'd be just worried.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
What if I chop
Yeah.
too close?
Exactly. That could happen. So anyways, the black muscle guy takes them in the back to kill them, and they get the jump on him, and Johnny Depp steals his Satan robe, and he kind of like does this weird disguise thing. He's like, I'm going to infiltrate them. I'm going to infiltrate the satanic cult because I have a robe on and they won't recognize my face at all. And so he does, and it's this big ritual, and then
The guy who originally hired him to find the copies of the book and authenticate them shows up.
yes.
He's in a big room. It's like a ballroom, and it's like a crowd of people in black robes watching the girl in the black robe. She's about to do something, right?
Yeah. It's kind of hard to explain. Yeah.
Doing,
it's-
like,
it doesn't make
incantations.
sense.
She's
Yeah.
just fucking, like, reading Latin.
Yes,
yeah. And so he comes up, he's like, that's my book. Basically, he's like, you stole my book. I want it back. And then he goes up on, there's like a big pure, what's it called? Like where it's like
An altar.
An altar. Yeah. He goes up to the altar, kills her, takes the book, and the rest of the Satanists just flee from this old man because he
This
killed.
army of Satanists.
Yeah.
Room full of Satanists. None of them go after
And
him.
one of the Satanists rips their robe off and they're naked underneath. And I'm
Really
like, what was the
hot
point of
blonde
that?
chick.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a super hot chick. And
Classic Polanski.
And he's like, and then the guy who originally hired Johnny Depp, he's like, well, go to my office. Like, I got my check waiting for you. You did your job. I'm gonna go take what I have from the other books, and I'm gonna go summon Satan. And he leaves.
He's like, and he gives him out. He's like, the girl's like, he's going to be charged with the murders.
Yeah, the murders that happened. He's gonna be charged with them. Like, it's fine,
The
Johnny
check's
Depp.
waiting for you.
Yeah.
Just go home, take the
And
check.
at this point, Johnny Depp hasn't like let on at all that he cares about these Satan books at all. Like, it's just about money for him. It seems like the whole time.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And
But at this point, technically, his job's done. He's looked at all 3 books. He's found discrepancies between all 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's what he was hired for.
yeah.
Worst detective ever, because he's like, and now let's keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna follow that guy to his satanic ritual and see what's up. So he goes to this castle, and the businessman who originally hired him performing the satanic ritual, and he's like, now I have unlimited. Like, they get into a tussle, and Johnny Depp falls to the floor. It's like some shitty wood floor, and he's kind of half hanging down the floor.
Jumanji style.
Jumanji's a la Jumanji.
Yes.
So it's just his torso hanging from the floor, and this old businessman's like, I'm gonna show you what I got now. I'm gonna show you my power, my devil power. Pours gas on himself, lights himself on fire, and he's like, I can't even feel it.
Yeah, for like 2 minutes.
For 2 minutes, and then he's like, oh god, oh shit, and he just burns to death. He doesn't even have devil powers. And then Johnny Depp's like, I guess I'll leave. So
He steals the pages.
he steals the pages that were taken from all 3 books, steals the pages, goes back to the car, and that blonde girl who has been helping him, who has superpowers that he never addresses throughout the whole movie, she's waiting for him. And he's like, why didn't he? And she's in there waiting for him, and she's like, what happened? He's like, he burned to death. He's like, I don't know why it didn't work. And then the blonde girl's like, because one of the pages is a forgery. And he's like, it is? And then instead of continuing on with, yes, it is, and you got to go do this, they go have sex outside of the burning, the castle's burning in the background. They just have sex. There's like, she makes out with him out of nowhere. They didn't seem like they're in like a romantic entanglement at all. And then it's just a sex scene. And then there's a scene where
She's riding him on.
she's riding him
on the
naked
lawn.
outside on the lawn outside the castle as it burns down. They clearly both come, and then it just cuts to them in the car, and he's like, that was crazy.
So it's all over now?
And then she's like, she tells him where the missing page is. Johnny Depp finds the missing page, and then he goes back to a castle, and a door opens, and it's like a bright light, and he walks through, and I guess that's the 9th gate. Like, it's the whole movie, he's been trying to open the 9th gate, and he does. And what a mess of a movie it is.
That
roll
plot is
credits.
all
Roll
over
credits.
the place, man. That is like, holy fuck! It's like one.
We've just
minute
saved
he's
you
doing
2.5 hours.
It was long.
I,
a movie too.
I had a fun ass time watching it.
Oh, dude, it was so fun just like ripping on it and stuff. Like, oh, it was great.
That's a great time, man. Finding like movies that are bad but not purposely bad.
Yeah, it was like
I love
ripping
it.
on them with your friends.
It was the
It was like
perfect
an
time
Academy
it got
Award
bad,
winning
too.
director. Like the Woody Allen of
And John Depp.
the
Good
Woody
actor.
Allen of Satan movies directed. The guy who directed Rosemary's Baby, you know,
Yeah.
like one of the most critically acclaimed Satan cult movies of all time. It made
It was
no
just high
sense.
on
It never
his
explained
power.
why she has powers ever in the whole movie.
It cut her eyes turn green every once in a while.
Like glare, her eyes glow.
Her eyes look like the devil's eyes in Rosemary's Baby every once in a while.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all. There's nothing. You don't get any more plot. You know what? Actually, now I want to go look at the IMDb of this and figure this movie out.
Yeah, like what are they trying to say? What is going on?
It was bad.
It was really.
It was actually
fucking
just a prequel to Pirates of the Caribbean.
he was doing like a pre Jack Sparrow impression. It was weird.
Yeah, he was kind of breaking
He was like
into
half
his-
Jack Sparrow, like he was sort of like doing a little swagger, a
Yeah.
little bit, like when he had sex with the girl and she's like, "Don't fuck me over." And he's like, "I thought I already
Yeah.
did." Like there's a little bit of Sparrow in there.
He's blowing smoke in everyone's face.
Yeah, we forgot one of the scenes where he's going to authenticate the book in Spain. So, like, he brings his copy of the book because the guy gives him the book, right? He goes to this fucking, like, apparently all these places you go to, including New York, because he helps run this store. There's, like, antique book authenticator stores in all these places he's
Right.
going to.
Right.
So he
Yeah.
runs one with his buddy who dies, and then he goes to Spain, and he shows up, and there's these 2 old Italian Spanish brothers.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
in
yeah.
Spain. And for guys that apparently authenticate and collect old books, they're even worse than Johnny Depp.
He literally ashes out on the book at one point.
He literally shows up. He's like, I got this copy of The Ninth Gate. And he's like, let me see that. And the fucking one Spanish guy, he's smoking a cigarette. He grabs the book. The first thing that happens, giant ash cherry falls on the book. He just brushes it off. And he's like, oh yeah. Oh, this is that book from the 1500s, right? It's a 500-year-old book. Whoops.
And there's a callback too, because like it's like remember that one scene
at the end of when they're investigating it too, they're like, yeah, no, this would be a really good copy if it wasn't burnt on the back. He's like, maybe it's assholes like you that have burnt it. No one respects antique books in this movie.
This is a near mint copy.
For guys who are literally paying what the movie hints at millions of dollars for these books, you think they would take a little more care of them?
A book that was written by Satan himself.
Satan himself.
Jesus.
It's like, fuck it, let's smoke around and let's ash on it.
Let's ash on it. Fuck it. Like, people love this shit. Like,
It's the
fuck
devil's
it.
book.
It's the devil's book. Fuck it. Oh, it was fucking... God, it was good. What a good time.
Sounds like an interesting movie. A really interesting movie.
It was something. It was a movie.
It was interesting.
It was a movie, and it was fun to watch and make fun of while you were watching it.
Yes.
Might have to watch that tonight.
Oh, it's great.
Ninth Gate, baby.
Ninth Gate.
Ninth Gate. Wild West in space, baby.
that's the closer. Wild West in space.
Wild West in
baby.
space, baby. All right. I think it's pretty good. It's a good app.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking A.
I feel like it.
I feel like that's a natural, good, like, we fucking went through the whole movie.
We did?
In, like, less than half the time it takes to watch it. So
I just
you're
as
welcome.
much fun too.
Yeah.
And you
fucking
know just as much about the movie as we do.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, dude,
nothing
what
more
a
to
confusing,
know.
weird movie. All right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been Not Feel Good People. Braden Jansen.
Max House.
Dako Young.
Aaron Rounds.
All right. Suck my dick and fuck my ass. We're live on the internet.
Yes.
Fucking nuts.
That was good.